Welcome to your magic moon message, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Peace Dealer. The moon is in Aries, the sun is in Cancer, and Mercury is about to go Gatorade. Okay, I thought that was funny. So, even though it looks like it, beautiful thing about a Mercury retrograde in Leo is just people saying the most dramatic things, but because Leo is a sign of pride, you already said it, and I don't want to take it back because then I'm going to look weak like I folded, and it's just much easier to stand on the dramatic stuff I said, even if it was probably out of a misunderstanding, than to really just kind of take it back because I already opened the door anyway, and plus whatever. So expect a lot of that. It's going to be fun until it's not. But regardless, we're done with Cancer season, y'all. This is the part, if every season was a movie, we've broken through the climax and now we're resolving the nature of the movie. So we're at the conclusion phase, the last few scenes. The next week is going to be the rewards you gained from this yearly update of diving deeper into your emotions, albeit now that you're wearing new clothes. You've evolved your wardrobe, the way you feel in your energy, and like every year of updating, it comes with its fair share of integrations and development. But with this evolution of Jupiter and Cancer, it's opening up a whole brand new 12-year journey. So it's like the way you used to wear your clothes the past 12 years is not going to be like the next 12 years. So this is a very monumental depth exploration of character square Saturn and Neptune and Aries, which are now retrograding. The retrograde motion of Saturn and Neptune are going to go back into Pisces, not based on the constellations, but based on the invisible zodiac, the ecliptic path of the sun intersecting the sun's celestial equator, hence why it's called tropical astrology, because it creates the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. Anyway, those two diabolical entities are going to retrograde back into Pisces by the end of Virgo season so that we can review how much we made what we believed in March actually real through habits in September. So this kind of concludes the soft launch of this new world order, kind of coming in to just, establish what's to come 2026 when we officially move forward with it. Now we're going to go back. This stage from now to the rest of the year is, hey guys, we showed you there's a PS6, right? We have the Switch 2 now. So now as it retrogrades back into the previous signs, it's like a store going to its entire Switch catalog, knowing it's about to replace it all with Switch 2s. Right? You're taking your black and white TV and now the stores are replacing it with color TVs. Horrible analogy because that's outdated. But that being said, we're done. The moon is going to hit 270 degrees. We're going to initialize completion, going into Taurus. Then it'll be 300. Then it'll be 330 in Gemini. Boom. Then we're going to start Leo season off with the new moon opposite Pluto in Aquarius, which is a precursor for Jupiter in the South Node in Leo next year. But until then, it's going to be a wild summer. It's going to be a very weird, extraordinary summer. And if Cancer was like the first part of summer, Leo is the heated up part of summer where it gets the most hot. Then we analyze how it all went down in Virgo and assign blame and criticism to who needs it, because you're going to get this work. That's Virgo's motto. And we're not there yet. So as the moon is in Aries, you're coming into an original, raw understanding of these sincere emotions, which the order of this is pretty interesting because we had the new moon in Cancer, which activated this new sincerity. Then we balanced those new feelings in Libra. So we gained a more social, classical understanding of how I can feel something to myself, but I can't really go to a public setting and tell you what I really feel unless I'm an asshole and I just don't care about how other people feel. Libra is going to represent that compromised state where it's like, I wanted to tell her that she ain't shit, but she was with her kids, right? You're understanding the social element, right, versus Aries, which is like, fuck you and your kids, you stupid bitch. You see how that's opposite? You see how that's raw and that's unfiltered? So I like that we filtered it first. We balanced it. It's like, okay, I can share these feelings like this. Or you can discern, I don't care. Like, you're still balancing it. Then it went into Capricorn. You organized a more universal collective understanding of your own individual feelings. And now you're completing it by taking that social understanding, that collective breakthrough, and then returning to who that makes you. How do you personally feel? What is this unfiltered sense of what you're completing in this emotional development? But most importantly, who are you? Who are you? Like, now that you have broken through these new psychic powers, this new development of your emotional psychic body, this deeper understanding of your character as a living, growing, conscious being, who do you feel you are expressing that? Okay. And this is going to post Moon on Saturn retrograde and Neptune retrograde really discern a much more transcendent, complete understanding of who you have been evolving into and how much more original you feel stepping in that. And this is really good for some of you who, through the Saturn Pisces chapter, March of 2023 up until now, have been working on belief systems to imagineer this self-concept of who you believe you can become, versus now in Aries taking actions to reflect these beliefs. So you're going to feel it very boldly. The moon's going to be in Chiron. Feelings are going to be hurt. Ad hominems are going to be flung left and right to people. And let's get negative, people. This is going to really have a huge potential to be unnecessarily dramatic, to where people really hurt each other's feelings. And that's a good thing. That being said, you don't necessarily want to take personal people's attack of your character. Only insecure people do that because they feel a certain way inside. So know that that's coming from that place. Know that somebody who feels the need to just hurt you really is hurting inside. And this is the way that they express that. Now, you could be an asshole. You can make fun of that. You could trigger them knowing they're already triggered. Just know that fire, when already cornered, is going to burn. All right. And now this spark of this Aries fire is being sustained by a very dramatic, instigating Hermes and Mercury's reevaluating what trouble it got itself into in Leo. Not that it cares. So there's something to keep in mind. It's definitely going to stoke passion, flames. These flames are necessary in order to challenge action, right? In order to challenge execution, in order to have you feel like there's something that has to be done, right? Because water douses fire, but it's also going to return you to the core of your authenticity so that you complete this development of the evolving nature of your feelings, the function of cardinal feelings that push you forward, and this raw, original sense of who you are as you're developing this, which brings the focus back personally, so that when the moon goes into Taurus, we are now rewarding ourselves with the grounded, natural, physiological senses that enable us to peer deeper into this understanding of our character and the expression of these psychic abilities. So when the moon goes into Taurus, we're completing the transit by you actually taking these clear senses and sensing them more physically, stronger, much more groundedly, much more physiologically. All right. You're going to actually sense it now. But understanding who you are will allow you to align with those values connected to who you are. And I think that's what makes this quite the finale. So you can look forward to very uncanny, supernatural, synchronistic experiences that affirm what you have revealed to yourself and what others have revealed about you to you. You can look forward to a complete and total understanding with the Saturnian influence that you can push forward with you, and the opening 60-degree sextile the moon in Aries is making to Pluto in Aquarius is drawing on from this extreme supernatural knowledgeable awakening. So not only are you understanding who you are, but now with this 20-year aspect from 2024 to 2044, you're coming into a supernatural sense of this, which elevates at a higher level outside of this world this understanding of yourself. And making a 300-degree angle to Uranus in Gemini completes with this understanding of yourself how much more unconventionally and revolutionarily you can communicate this supernatural understanding. Let me translate. It's time for you to take more bold, seemingly retarded, deranged, and just extremely weird approaches to how you express who you are. Stop saying that you're a human being. Start saying that you are a conscious being living in an interstellar experience. Most of that was just big vocabulary to sound like you're saying more stuff, but get more creative with that. Start saying that you are a spirit in a flesh suit that is traveling across time and space. One just sounds boring. The other sounds actually cool. And the more crazy you can get with it, or at least weird sounding, the better, as long as you're having fun. Especially because much of this will be kind of grounded in some element of truth. Unless you want to go full delusional with it, I'm not stopping you. But yes, that being said, we're here. And I want you to understand we're completing the cycle. So you are going to be feeling what you have accomplished since 3 weeks ago when we activated these seeds. And then a week ago was when we started harvesting these seeds that we sowed. Now we're reaping. We're completing the reaping process. And so now you're completing it by coming into the accomplishment of who you are, who you feel you are, how much more of yourself you feel you are. And any kind of conflict between that is what is needed to be brought up so that it could be dealt with. Then it's going to smoothen over in Taurus, moolah, okay? Whether in the form of wealthy friends, wealthy values, actual wealth, whether in the form of money or whatever assets or other stuff like that. So look forward to that. And other than that, the 210-degree angle the moon be making to Mars in Virgo will transform how it is you approach the actions you take strategically and analytically, because now you have a much more transformed understanding of who you are now that you're wearing new clothes, now that you're evolving how much more deeply you can feel. And newsflash, whether you believe it or not, a lot of people are evil as fuck. Stop making excuses for evil people, okay, who like are clearly evil. And like, I don't mean conventionally evil, just against truth. Stop making excuses for people who are just pieces of shit, to be completely honest. Like, they're showing you who they are the first time, and keep that in mind, all right? I'm not trying to say to ostracize people, but if you understand that you're being projected by people who are clearly have the choice to operate at a higher, more mature frequency and decide to go low, don't go low with them and wrestle with them in the mud. Smite them. Smite them. Call on a force and deal with them like that. Surrender it up to God, B. That's beneath you. Don't worry about it. And then laugh when you hear about them getting smited or publicly embarrassed or killed. Drink to that. Yeah, this is Warrior Aries. What did you think I was going to say? Love and light. Just forgive them. Be the bigger. Smite them. In the name of insert God, and watch what happens. Insert your God of choice. It really don't matter at this point. You guys stay blessed as always. You're not going to let people mess with you. Okay, it's just the Chiron and Aries. Don't be vulnerable in yourself, but let people know you still with that. Really though, consider smiting your enemies. It'll change your life. You guys stay blessed as always. Peace.